what does presence sound like, feel like? I had just driven to Palm Springs and I was talking to my twin sister on the phone when she asked me this question. She said, "You were so present. What was your drive like? What did it sound like? What did it feel like?" That drive was so special to me. What did it sound like? It sounded like, I want this. I want this. I want this. What did it feel like? It felt like this out-of-body experience, like this out-of-mind experience as well. It felt like presence. I'll give you an example. At the beginning of the year, I flew to LA and I rented this new BMW Z4. And my God, when I was in that, I started having these visuals and this kind of plotting, scheming thing of like, oh my God, I should trade in my car and get this car. How could that be done? And every time I'd come back to LA, I'd rent these cars. And it was like, I want that Z4 again. And then I would try out new cars and this whole thing. And I'm like, it's kind of like, I don't want what I have. And then I shipped my car out here and I've been driving it. And on this drive to Palm Springs, what I heard was, I want this. I was thinking, oh my God, this is the best drive. This is the smoothest drive. I am not going to mess with perfection. This is paid for, and I love this. I want this. And that was a big thing because I had been scheming about these other cars. And it was just like, I want this. Then I'm driving and there's the mountains. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And it's like I wasn't even there in my mind or my body. There was no critique going on. No critique of my mind, no critique of what I was feeling in my body. And I just kind of came to and I was like, I want this. I want this. I want this. I want this, and yet I have this. Now, one could say, well, that's real easy to say when you're driving to Palm Springs in a convertible. Like, what isn't there to want? But I've had this over the course of what I now really look at as this spiritual evolution. During so many jobs that I've had in New York that I never, ever wanted to have. Never wanted to have. And yet I would show up there making, minimum wage. In these jobs where all my co-workers would say, oh, we're just not even seen by people, we're nothing to people, all this stuff. And yet I would walk in immediately when I would walk in. I would just immediately come into, I want this. I'm here, I must want this. Or if I'm here, I gotta want this, right? But it was also more than that. It was like, okay, if people think of us as invisible, what a challenge for me to take on. I want to overcome that invisibility. I want to show that that's not going to be the case when I am there. I want to, help people see that you don't treat caterers, waiters, background talent as if they're nothing. I wanted them to see that I am no different than them. And that became the challenge. And that world, being in those environments, was everything that I needed. And I would always walk in and say, I want this, because I want to evolve from this. Then on a different level, I think about heartbreak. Just the extreme, the word that comes to me is like the emotional torture that heartbreak can be. Whether it's losing a family member, losing a pet, losing a relationship, losing so many aspects of yourself. I went and cycled through what felt like such despair with myself. But even then, I realized I want this. Because I had been choosing circumstances that were landing me in this. For example, it just comes to me, it's like the pain of losing a dog. Well, I must have wanted this because I chose and I allowed myself to love my dog so much that the only thing that could possibly happen once I was going to lose her was to feel such anguish. I must have wanted this anguish if I allowed myself to take on the risk of loving to such a degree. And I think now, as I've overcome and kind of come out on this other side of what was really such a severe, severe low, is I did want all that. Because I wanted to evolve in ways that only pain could bring out of me. Only the unique journey of pain that I had to get through to come out on the other side in this way, this awakening, and in this presence, this appreciation, this awe, this kind of getting rid of all the things that really don't matter. All the thoughts, all the mental chatter, all this disgust and disdain for my body, all those things, all of the things that I've been in, what felt like lows, that I chose to take on and to see as a way to help me evolve beyond certain, current circumstances, I must have wanted this because I'm in it. And now on the other side of all that anguish, I'm driving around to Palm Springs and I'm looking around and I'm like, I want this truly. And I think it comes in both ways, from the heartbreak to the blissed out experiences that we have. We have to look at everything that is coming to us. We have to find a way to want this for ourselves. Because if we want it, we're not resisting it. And they always say that what you resist persists. So if you're not resisting anything, you're not allowing it to persist in your life. So want everything that is coming to you. Know that it must be like this unique assignment of yours, that you have called it in, that there is some part of you deep down inside that knows that if you're going through a heartbreak, that you must want this so badly. Some part of you inside, some pattern that you keep on going for, the people that you keep on attracting, you want to shake it so badly. You must want this so you can finally be beyond it. It's like we have to hit our knees if we're ever going to rise up with some oomph. So presence to me is just waking up to, I want this. And that's why it's happening for me. Will you try it? You know what I'm going to do. Follow the sound and say to yourself, whatever it is that's happening, I want this.